In a study of bat migration habits, 240 male bats and 160 female bats were tagged. If 100 more female bats are tagged, how many more male bats must be tagged so that 3/5 of the total number of bats in the study are male? That is a mouthful. We should definitely read this one more time and try to deconstruct what's given and hopefully come up with some equations. So let's just break this down to smaller bits. Sounds like we have some male bats, we have some female bats, and there's mention of a total number. So we should probably do that. And originally, it tells us that we have 240 male bats from right there, and we have 160 female bats. And I guess we can figure out the total by adding these together to give us, there are 400 bats in total. But that's not all. There's more that's happening here. It says, if we add the female bats, if we add 100 more female bats, so if you added a little 100 more female bats over here, and how many more male bats must be tagged? So we're adding some unknown number of male bats. So let's just call the additional male bats X. All right, and we have some new numbers, right? So the new numbers, these are the original numbers, but these are the new numbers after we've added additional bats, after we've tagged more bats. So for the males, it'll be some 240 plus some unknown number for the males. For females, well, we had 160 to begin with. We added 100, so we know we have 260 female bats. And this gives us a new total. And that new total is 400, because we had originally 400 bats. But then we're adding to that number 100 female bats plus X male bats, which makes the grand total 500 plus X. So we can actually write this as 500 plus X, because that's the new total. Now, the question goes on to say that really the question is asking how many more male bats must be tagged so that 3/5 of the total number of bats in the study are male. So male needs to be 3/5 of the grand total. And thankfully we have equations to go with that. So for M, we can replace that with 240 plus X needs to be equal to 3/5 of our new total, which is 500 plus X. And since we need a little bit more room, let's move this, or rather the product here. So still we have 240 plus X on the left side. And on the right side, we can actually distribute this 3/5 times 500 will become 300. And 3/5 times this X becomes 3/5 X. And at this point, we just have a nice two-step equation that we can actually solve. Why don't we start off by subtracting 3/5 X from each side. So subtract 3/5X from here. Subtract 3/5X from here. Guess what? Those cancel. So we have 240. So 1 whole minus 3/5 gives you positive 2/5. X equals 300. And next we can subtract the 240 from both sides, like so. And this ends up giving us 2/5X equals 60. And to solve for X, which is the additional number of males that we needed to tag, we just need to finish this off by multiplying both sides by 5/2 times 5/2. So of course these cancel out, and we have X equals 150. Of course, this is the calculator section, so I'm counting on you to just plug those in. If you want to, you could do this pretty easily without a calculator for some of you. So of course, you could do 2 goes in here once, 2 goes in here 30. 30 times 5 is 150. That's how I'm able to do them so quickly, because I like cross-canceling. But anywho, the answer to this question is 150. We would need 150 more male bats tagged for the ratio to be 3/5 of the grand total.